Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving for those that celebrate it. If you're new to my channel, my name is Josie and I currently live in the Silver Coast of Portugal, and my channel specializes in helping families with their move to Portugal, especially the Silver Coast area. I have had people reach out and asked what our cost of living is now. In my previous video, it was our cost of living for the first month of us being here. And we did travel quite a bit because it was our first time being in Portugal as a family, and we wanted to really just explore the country. So we did stay in a lot of Airbnbs, we did eat out 90% of the time. We had what I deem a realistic budget when you first move here and you want to explore. But now that we have settled into our long-term rental and actually have a proper grocery store that we shop from, our rental is an actual monthly rental versus living in Airbnb. So our cost of living is significantly less than before. So I wanted to go over what our cost of living is for a family of 5. So like I said, in our first video, it was for a family of 6 because we had our au pair with us, but this is our actual budget for a family of 5. So 3 young kids and obviously 2 adults. All right, so our first item is our rent. Obviously, it's our biggest ticket item, so I wanted to kind of break this down for you. So our monthly rent is 1,250 euros. What does that include? We have a fully furnished rental, so all of our furniture is included, dishes, silverware, everything that you would need when you first move into a place, including TVs. It's almost like if you were to rent an Airbnb. So everything is here except for obviously linens and towels, which we had to supply. Our rental is a 3-bedroom townhouse. So it has 3 different floors, the upstairs, the main living, and then the downstairs basement. It also comes with a washer and dryer, so that's always an added bonus. And I will say, from getting perspectives from different people, we are paying on the higher end of rentals in the areas. Given I've seen some that are like $2,000 plus, but I've also seen some as low as 550 euros for a T3 apartment in the city center of Caldas. So it all varies. Let me just break down my rental. So the 1250, like I said, it comes fully furnished. We wanted something with a flexible lease. So for instance, our actual lease is only 8 months, but it's a renewable 8 months. So I didn't want to have to sign like a 5-year lease because I just didn't know if we wanted to stay in this current house for 5 years or if we wanted to move, or who knows, I just didn't want to be locked down. We wanted something fully furnished. The 1250 also includes some of the utility bills. So there is a limit, like a prepaid amount of that lease towards our utilities, and anything in excess we just have to pay out of pocket. We also wanted a reasonable security deposit and a reasonable upfront payment. I have seen so many people, and even myself, when I contacted a rental, they were asking for an obscene amount upfront just because we weren't residents yet. Even though we were moving here, you don't have, every landlord is a little bit different as far as what they request. Like for instance, when I looked at one rental, they asked that I pay 6 months upfront and I think a month or 2 of security deposit just because I wasn't a tax resident. I've had other people tell me that they had to pay 2 months upfront and 2 months security deposit. Another one said, I think like 3 months upfront. So it just all really varies. This one in particular, I really liked because it was 1 month security deposit and 1 month of prepaid rent, which that's what I'm used to in the States. So I felt very, very comfortable with it, and I liked the owners too. So that definitely helped. Another thing that is huge that you don't find too much of, or it's very hard to find, I guess I should say, is finding a rental that allows animals. So here the owner has dogs, so she was very pet friendly. She knew in advance that we were planning on getting a dog, and she was perfectly fine with that, and there was no added security deposit for a pet to be here, which was also super nice. And then of course the location is ideal for us because we are within walking distance to the beach and then also walking distance to the city center. So it was definitely something that we really enjoyed, and we knew that we would pay a premium for something like that. Okay, so number 2, utilities. So like I said, part of our rent does cover our utilities, but we do have to pay extra. Just to give you a broad idea of how much we paid this past month for utilities, just because it covers the Wi-Fi, the electricity, and the gas and water, I believe. We paid an extra 120 euros for all of that. It wasn't the winter season yet, or it still isn't the winter season, so we didn't really have the electric or gas on very much. I do cook quite a bit, and our stove is gas. So I would say take that into account too. Now the winter time, I know it's gonna be a lot more just because we were running the heat more often, but now we have a fireplace and we are using that. Okay, so the next thing is cell phone. So our cell phone bill is 85 euros, and that covers my husband's cell phone and my cell phone. And it is on the highest tier plan. So we have it with Vodafone, and we got the Giga Red, the fastest speed. Now, my husband works remote, so he needs something super reliable for when his company calls. And for myself, I am just one of those people that I just like knowing, I just like having everything unlimited. Unlimited phone calls, unlimited texts, unlimited data, unlimited whatever. Like, I don't like being worried about how much our next bill is going to be because maybe I went over, or maybe I forgot to log into Wi-Fi, or maybe, you know, another situation happens and I need my phone and someone calls from the States. I don't know. I just like knowing that I'm paying one flat fee and everything's going to be covered. Plus, I have found that Vodafone has been extremely reliable as far as the internet speed. I haven't had any drop phone calls, in other words, I should say. I don't even know if that's a thing really anymore. But the only time that my phone doesn't work, at least the internet, is when I'm in like mountain areas. I know I was driving to San Domingo, something like that, which is by Tornado. And I know I always have horrible cell service around there. So there are just certain pockets of areas that I don't get reliable cell phone service, but for the most part, I haven't had any issues. And in fact, I do tend to never use my at-home Wi-Fi. I would rather just log in or just use my cell phone Wi-Fi because I just find it so much easier. Our current Wi-Fi for the house, it's kind of spotty, and I'm not the best at like terminology, so sorry if you're a techie person. I'm just going to tell you how I see it. We have the Wi-Fi router upstairs, but we don't have a bridge or something like that for the downstairs area. So we just know there's certain areas downstairs that doesn't really get reliable Wi-Fi, or not reliable, but it doesn't transfer well. So we know when we have to go on Skype, or if we have any video conferences, we have to go upstairs. Otherwise, it could be very spotty down here. So I'd rather just continue using my cell phone plan and not go on the Wi-Fi, just because it's so much easier. And I stream a lot of Netflix on my phone, or just in general, I like to stream things on my phone while I'm cooking and stuff. So I just find it easier just staying on my cell phone data. Okay, next, gas. All right, so we all know, and this should not be a shock to you, that gas is super expensive here. For instance, my husband used to have a Dodge Durango back in the States. And for those that don't know what a Dodge Durango is, it's a pretty big SUV. And he would fill up once a week paying $50 US. So probably equivalent to like 45 euros here. And he would fill up maybe like once a week or whatever. Here we have a smaller car, and we fill up about 3 times a month. We do drive quite a bit, picking and dropping the kids off, and then we like to explore, going to like Lisbon or Leiria or just anywhere really, because we like to get out. So we do probably fill up more than maybe some other people that just like to stay in this area. But we usually spend about 70 to 80 euros a tank, and we fill up about 3 times a month, give or take. So I have seen people spend a lot more, but we have found about 240, maybe 250 euros is what we usually spend in a month. Now, since we like to travel, we do have to pay tolls. So we got the Via Verde, which is really easy to sign up for. You just go online and you put in your license plate and fill in all the information there, and they send you the transponder in the mail. So that was super easy to do. And we usually spend about 40 euros a month in tolls. Give or take, we probably won't have to pay that amount in the next couple of months because we probably won't be going to Lisbon in the colder seasons, but we like to go to Lisbon, we like to go to Setúbal, we like to go anywhere within an hour to an hour and a half radius from here. We like to travel and just see Portugal as much as we can. All right, so let's talk about car insurance. So we spend 33 euros a month. And I believe this is on the higher end. I've seen other people have less expensive ones, but we spend 33 euros a month, and that is for full coverage. So that's what we spend on that. Okay, so groceries. Obviously, groceries is very subjective to your family. So for us, and I have been tracking my groceries pretty well as far as how much we spend. And we spend about 400 euros a month on groceries. I like to go grocery shopping about every week. So every other week I'll do my big haul where I spend about 120 euros, 130, maybe at most 150 euros, but that doesn't happen very often. I usually would say about 120 euros is what I'm landing at every other week. And that includes all my meats, all of, my regular weekly stuff like vegetables and fruits, any pastas, all that stuff. All the frozen stuff too is what I get every other week. And then the opposite weeks, that's when I just get my fresh produce or random stuff that I forgot to get in the previous week. And usually those are really quick in and outs. So all in all, we spend about 400 euros a month for us. And that leads to restaurants now. So like I told you in my previous videos, I do like to eat out. But now that we live here, I cook a ton more because I do love cooking as well. So we try to eat out as a family anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week. And then for my husband and I, we like to go out about 2 times a week ourselves, whether it's just a quick breakfast run or we'll have lunch together. So give or take, that's how often we go out to eat. Now, when we go out to eat as a family, we'll go out to one sit-down restaurant, and then usually one quick fast food type of thing. If we're running behind picking up the kids from their activities and I'm just too tired to cook, we'll just go through McDonald's or something and grab something quick over there. So how much we spend in restaurants? We spend about 300 euros a month, but when we go out to eat as a family, we're usually spending anywhere from 20 to 30 euros for all 5 of us. Given it's a little bit cheaper because obviously our kids are within that reduced, the kids' meal range, so their plates aren't anything expensive usually, and usually they share off of us too. So we usually spend about 20 to 30 euros when we go out. And then my husband and I, when we go out to lunch, we're spending about 10, 15 euros at most for lunch, and then, a couple dollars for breakfast, really. So it's really affordable to eat out here. The only reason why I don't do it as much as I did previously is just because, like I said, I love to cook, and then also it's a lot of work going out to eat sometimes, especially trying to find a place that the kids love, and so it's just easier sometimes cooking in, but I still love to eat out. Okay, our school tuition, this is our second biggest cost. Our school tuition is 1,000 euros, and that includes tuition for 3 kids, all their food, snacks, and all their paid activities afterwards. So for instance, my kids are in swimming, soccer, gymnastics, English. What else are they learning? Oh, and cooking classes. So they do all those activities after school, and these are the paid ones, not the ones that are included in your tuition. So I find that to be super affordable. Let's talk about health insurance. So my husband's company covers our health insurance as far as the premiums and everything. We have been extremely blessed in the fact that they do cover it, and it's a global health insurance plan. So it covers us in Europe, Asia, in the States as well, so we don't have to pay anything out of pocket. And then other ones, activity and sports. So other than what activities the kids do in school, they also do extra activities on the weekends, such as surfing or a hiking camp. That runs us about 100 euros a month. So they go swim or they go surfing twice a month, and then they do the hiking camp about twice a month as well, give or take twice, maybe 2 to 3 times a month. And lastly, media service. So any monthly subscriptions, for instance, your Amazon Prime, or we have Netflix, and we have, what was the other? We have Disney. Amazon Spain, which is what we have the membership with, they only charge 36 euros a year versus I think I was paying almost 150 US dollars for our Amazon Prime at home. I could be wrong, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I know it was substantially more than the one in Amazon Spain, which we always order from. Then we also spend, we have Disney as well, and that one's about $5, €5 a month. And then we have our Netflix, and that is €12. So overall, all in all, is €20 for media service. So the grand total of how much we as a family spend a month here is about $3,500, $3,588 to be exact. I hope that gave you a really great perspective on how much our monthly budget is, or how much we spend here. If you are on a tighter budget, you can always reduce the fees that I've spent on, let's say you can enroll your children in the public school and save yourself €1,000. You can eliminate some activities to reduce it down. So you can easily get your budget down $2,500, if not more. So it is very, very reasonable even for a larger family. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.